And we are live.
Let's go.
We are
Oh,
live,
it's
baby.
almost kind of lonely just being me and you.
It feels a little lonely.
Yo, when'd you
Pull
get
up
the
this
hat? Thing's fresh.
Christmas time.
Yeah. Yo, adjust your frame a little bit down.
What's
You're like
frame?
squatted down.
Like this. But hold on, I'm just doing it because I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
I'll fix it when I get closer. I gotta get some better back support over here. So we got
Oh,
one
you on a
person
stool right
coming in.
now?
Here's my presentation.
Yeah, pull that boy up.
Got it. Let's wait for some people to get up here. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Let's get
So
this
yeah,
morning.
this one is gonna be. We'll have to draw it out a little bit. I guess we do the PowerPoint and kind of talk about some, and go into more details while we're doing it.
Yeah, we'll just do the PowerPoint and we'll take our time on some things and answer any questions you guys got. I'm trying to look at everything and see this is
Sucks
the
that Ethan was sick. Hopefully he feels
Yeah,
better.
for sure.
Our boy. I think, who do we got coming on next week? Is it Brandon?
Okay, this is the good one. Perfect. All right. So who we got on here? Got two people on. Make sure you guys are sharing this if you can. Share this to as many people as possible. Leave us some comments here down below. Share this again, please, to as many people as you can. Facebook groups. Share the YouTube link. We got 4 up now on Level Up Real Estate. So you guys just share this, tag some people down below, tell them to come in here. We're gonna do a pretty good presentation.
Should be
How's
pretty
everyone
solid.
doing today, though? How's everyone doing? I'm trying to adjust my cam, but
Are y'all having a good week? Pretty excited. We're going to Vegas this weekend.
We're going to Vegas, man.
Yeah, next week we got Brandon Bateman coming on.
Let's go.
Going to be dropping those marketing bombs for us. He's got 90 plus clients in the real estate space where they do digital marketing for PPC, SEO, Facebook. And then after that, we got Darren Carr coming on for doing your hiring recruitment plan for 2022. That's what he's going to be talking about. So he's got
That's what I like. So, I guess what we can do here is we can just start. I should have set up my other phone for the live Instagram, but what we'll do here is we can get this thing started. Again, if you guys have questions, leave them to the side. Please share this. We're going to present on the collective genius presentation we did last week. So, Chandler, do you want to explain to everyone what collective genius is?
Yeah, so collective genius is a group of what I would call premier investors nationwide who are mostly flipping, wholesaling, buy and holds, and get together every 3 to 4 months for an event. And we all have a presentation where we do a give, and we give something of value that we feel like we do really well at or do a really good job of executing on, and hopefully provide some value to other people. And it's super valuable to get to go and hear all these high level guys talk about these things they're crushing at. You get to build relationships and just learn so much. So it's a super amazing event to be part of the collective genius. So Gino, if you have anything you want to add to it as well, feel free to go on.
Oh no, that's it, right? We meet 3 times a year now, 4 times a year, and we're in the premiere. But everyone's here to give something. It's a big networking event. I highly recommend if you're doing deals, you're actually doing 30, 40 plus deals a year, that you join that mastermind. There's no doubt in my mind you'll gain a lot of value from joining that.
Well, when we joined it, and within 1 year, I think that's one of the sole reasons why we were able to do what we did. Just because of meeting these people and learning from guys who are doing hundreds of deals a year. So,
for sure,
a whole other world out there. So, anyways, what we're going to do today is, like kind of hit on, is we're going to be doing our presentation from the event, and hopefully it gives you guys some value. We got 3rd place in our room. Last event we got 1st. This one we got 3rd. So, there were some super good presentations we felt like out there. So glad we were able to squeak in the 3rd
out
place.
Of what, 70 presentations?
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
so
top
I guess
9.
I think it was like 28 is what it ended up being in our room. It was like 28.
Yeah, but I'm saying total out of the whole entire thing, we were top 9 out of 80 3 groups people. Out of 80 people. So anyway, who cares about us? let's start presenting this, right? Let me put my
Yeah,
screen up here. I got it ready. Hold on. We got share screen. I'll share this screen right here. Let me know. Can you guys see it? I can't see anything, but can you see my screen?
I can see it. Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll go ahead and start. You guys ask questions, Chandler. You can see the questions. I can't. So
Yep.
um, what we'll do here, we'll go in this, guys. Any questions, leave them on the side.
Yeah.
Please
That's a
share
big
again.
thing for this is, our presentation was only like a 20-minute time slot for CG. So we're going to try to go into more examples and go a little deeper. But for you guys to ask any questions you guys have on real life scenarios, and then we'll kind of open it up for some things we want you guys to be thinking about while we're going through. So sweet.
Yep.
All right, let's get it
All
going.
right. So here we go. So I'm Gino Palumba. If you guys didn't know that already, which I'm sure you have, CEO
Says
of
it under his
Ferocity
face
Castle.
right there.
See it?
Yeah.
There I am.
Yep. And obviously I'm Chandler, COO. Let's ride.
So about me, all right, yeah. So again, this is what we presented on. So about me, real quick, from Atlanta, not really, right outside Atlanta. 22 years old, 24 rental units. Well, actually, we just sold that one, so
Mm-hmm.
23.
Yep.
Hobbies
Tony.
are fishing and traveling. And I think a lot of you guys know this, but I took a tour of Europe from August to November, 3 months practically, and toured all these different countries: Spain, Italy, France, Turkey, Germany, Portugal, all this stuff. So I love traveling for sure. And I was supposed to go to Switzerland next week, but that's a whole nother story. But next to Chandler.
Yep. So obviously I'm from not Atlanta, from Georgia, 23, ultra runner. I live in Denver. So I actually don't even live in Georgia. And then I do a lot of different things from ultra running to skiing to traveling to whatever. And also I put in there is like I do some crypto mining. So if you guys have crypto questions or anything like that, you can throw it in there. But
Yeah, you need to get educated.
I
What's
know I need.
ultra runner mean though?
Oh yeah, ultra runner. So that just means anything longer than a marathon. So if you didn't know, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know I run all the time. But I've ran a 50 miler, a 37 miler, and I'm gonna try to do a 100 miler this year in 2020. So that's the goal. And I'm also
2022.
doing Ironman
March, May.
in May 7th. So that's exciting. It's gonna be fun. You guys follow me on Instagram and you'll see all the adventures that we go through.
Let's see it.
Heck yeah.
All right,
So
so this is just a recap last year's numbers, or actually 2020, you can see. So from this is actually supposed to be 2020 because we did
mhm.
this presentation early of the year. So 2020, this is what we did. All right, marketing costs, revenue, this is how many deals. 2021, we won't stay much on this, but this is what we did here. So spent a lot more money on marketing, mostly actually all of it from TV, really.
Yeah.
25 TV deals. I mean, you guys can do the numbers here. And see what our cost per deal. I think it ended up cost per deal, or excuse me, average deal size like 28 grand or something like
Yeah,
that.
like 27.9 or something like
Yeah,
that.
something
So
like that.
right around that
But again,
ballpark.
this is a little background on us. Oh shoot, went too fast, double clicked. So what are we talking about? All right. So we're talking about the book and the strategy of who, not how. Right. So it comes from the book written by Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach. And the book basically talks about how to find, instead of your mindset, how to change your mindset from going, how can I do something? How can I do X? How can I achieve this? To who can help me achieve this? Who can help me do this so that I can achieve my how, right? So stop asking yourself, how, start asking yourself who, not how,
Mhm.
right? That's the
Yeah.
premise of the book.
And really the big takeaway that we want people to have when when we listen to our presentation is when you do something is not think of like is ask yourself the question every single time. Is like who can do it? Like Gino was talking about. So not just man, how can I figure this out? But who can help me figure this out? Or who can do this? Take it off my plate.
This is the
That's
biggest revelation I've had, as a business owner in a while, right? Because I mean, I have a bunch of employees, but are people that work with me, but you got to look at everything you do day to day, right? Because while we're doing this, we're trying to get, like it says here, the freedom of money. How can we get the freedom of money? Well, we can have people make that money for us instead of us spending our efforts on that certain strategy, learning X, time, right? That's a big one, right? And we'll get into that in this presentation. Instead of you doing all these things, why don't you find someone who could do it, just as good as you,
Mhm.
especially for the minute tasks that are not as big task, right?
Yep.
Then you can have someone else do it. Freedom of relationship, that's pretty, self-explanatory right there. You able to free yourself up, find who's going to help your relationship. Well, probably maybe even a relationship coach if we want to get into that, right? So that's a
Hmm.
who. How can my relationship get better? Who could help me with that? A relationship coach. And then freedom of purpose, how can I achieve my goal of feeding kids in maybe it's Mexico,
Guatemala.
right? And I'm just giving Guatemala, right? Whatever it is. Instead of figuring how, say who can help me get there? Who can, what charities, like whose
Hmm.
charities can help me where I can help, donate or whatever it is, right? So
Yep.
you want to
Definitely.
go move on, Chandler? You have anything else to say?
Yeah, I think I think you hit on everything right there. I don't have anything to add for this one.
Right. So here's an example. We're going to go through now about 3 or 4, maybe even I think 5 examples of what we've done recently. And some of these are not as recent as others, but what we've done in our business and what we credit a lot of our huge success
Yep.
and quick growth is implementing this, right? Without
Yeah.
even knowing it, we
Yep.
implemented a lot of this, right? So one of the first things was in the beginning of our, creation of our company is how can we close more deals? We'd ask ourselves, how can we go from doing 20 deals the first year ever in business to, doing 50, 60, 70 deals like we did last year. But we were asking
And,
this our first year.
and this
What
is
were you
this question everyone asks themselves, right? So, and it's the one that you just beat yourself over the head all day. So instead of beating yourself and beating your head against the wall, why don't you get someone who's already beat their head against the wall to
Well,
just
let me get into my presentation
Oh,
here,
yeah,
sir.
my bad.
Oh, he
Go
gets
ahead.
too excited. I'm gonna have to
I'm getting
take yours.
excited over here.
So how
I
can we
can't stand
close more
it up.
deals? Instead of asking yourself that, you should start asking yourself, not that, right? Who can help us close more deals? And so we asked us that question. We asked ourselves that question, and who came up, right? So as the example now, Big Stevie Trang, the Asian
Let's
sensation, the
go.
man himself, the good-looking
The
man right
GOAT.
there, right? He's looking pretty jacked in this one.
Honestly, like, look at his forearms. I
He's
mean,
got
man's
that
been
little
hitting
strength
pull-ups,
on him. But,
right?
so before joining Steve's training and, we started in the beginning of 2019, we closed 20 deals. Actually, excuse me, we started at the beginning of 2020, but in our year 2019, we closed 20 deals, our first full year. Then when we since joining Steve's in 2020, we closed 110 deals since then. Now, I credit a lot of that to Steve. Yeah, not all of it was, Steve, but the big things that we use day to day in our business, from our lead management, actually from our cold callers, lead managers, acquisition managers,
Everything.
are all built on the presence of Steve's trainings. And I would highly, highly, highly credit Steve for that and the growth we've seen. So again, we instead of asking ourselves, how can we close more deals? Who can help us close more deals? Right.
Yep.
I hear you again, Chandler, murmuring. What are you saying?
No, I just said, yep. It's one of the things that will make you, if you can. And here's the thing too, is like on top of this idea, just to expand upon. I think it's pretty obvious, but the reason you pay other people to do things is because you condense time. You get more done in a short amount of time because someone's already spent the years to figure out how to master it. They can condense it down into something. Here's the most important things. Then they deliver it to you, and then you execute, and you
Yeah,
can have
that goes.
results within, 30 days. You can have crazy results of that would have maybe taken you years to achieve.
Yeah, and that goes back to freedom of time, right? Like we talked about,
Mhm.
like that's going to free up your time. But let's go to the next example here, right?
Yep.
Instead of asking yourself how, or this is yours, right,
Yeah,
Chandler?
yeah, yeah.
Wanna
You're gonna
take it
take
over?
my thunder too. I took your
Good. I
punchline
need
last
to
time, so I guess the least you can do is do it for me. So,
just
but
keep it
anyways,
going.
how can we be more effective with our time? Is a question we're asking ourselves. And instead of saying how can we be more effective with our time, we just said who can help us be more effective, right? So who can help us be more effective with our time? So what we did is we actually went out and hired 2 executive assistants to come and do all the things that we were, spending too much time on that weren't revenue generating. I actually made a video on this yesterday. As you grow your business, you're going to start to do way more administrative tasks that are not $1,000 an hour tasks, right? And it's just you think it's natural, right? Oh, because I'm doing this, I gotta pay people, or oh, because I'm doing this, I gotta send these emails or do blah 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 XYZ administrative task, aka not $1,000 an hour task. So again, what we realize is that hey, if we do $10 an hour task, we're gonna make $10 an hour, right? So if we're trying to do $1,000 an hour task, so we make $1,000 hour plus, that's what your compensation is. So what we did is when we hired these people, we set it up to where they literally do everything for us that's not like highly revenue generating. And you can see right here, just in the first month, this is the first month results. Vivian saved Gino up to about around 115, 117 hours, just to be exact. And then Eric, based on task time, saved myself 120 hours of time. And Gino, I think you and Vivian did a really good job of systemizing yourself. So if you want to share, how you did that, kind of what's your like foundation, what you kind of set up, like your meetings, you can.
Yeah, I mean, so
pretty
and
valuable.
to hit on it, Chandler, like you were saying, like, and I'll go into it, is the big thing here for everyone. We all have a price on our hourly wage. Like we have a price for what we're worth per hour, right? And most of us as entrepreneurs, especially the high level entrepreneurs, we're minimum worth $500 to $1,000 an hour, right? I think we're worth $1,000 an hour. I think I am. Chandler, you think the same.
Yeah,
But even let's say you say I'm only worth $500 an hour, right? Which I think
even 100, even if it depends on what your number is.
I would challenge you to say you're worth more than that. But let's say you're worth $500 an hour. If you do the calculations on these numbers, if my time was spent here 117 hours, let's just say 120 like Chandler did. If I
Easy.
am worth $500 an hour, that means I saved $60,000 because my
In 1 month.
time in 1 month, $60,000, because if I was paying myself $500 an hour, that would have been 600, or that would have been $60,000.
Yeah, and
So, and
with
tell them
that,
how much we pay Eric real quick so we can get
yeah,
this thing figured
Eric
out.
makes $7 an hour, which is
So that's
really good for him.
$840, and your return on investment 60,000. You got that many hours back in your time worth 60,000, and you only paid $840. What kind of return on investment is that?
It's a baller
Right?
one. And also to elaborate on that too is you're not going to see that 60K tomorrow. Like that's not going to happen. Like we implement this in December. It's not going to happen in January. Well, that's going to happen in May, June, July, August, because we were able to spend our time in January, December, January, February, March doing those $1,000 an hour tasks, building the company to do what it wants to do. So it's not something you're going to see results tomorrow, but you'll see the results eventually, and they'll be exponential. So
For
take
sure.
that, don't get disappointed if you're like, man, I'm doing these, I got less to do, blah, blah, blah. It's not working. It just takes time. Time and
For sure. And
consistency.
then so back on Chandler's thing, like he wanted me to explain, is like me and Vivian, every single night, 6 o'clock, we plan the day in advance. So I go over and I plan my next day. So if today we're planning for Wednesday, we actually did it early because we're having this podcast right now. So we planned it early. I set up, and my to-dos on Asana, which is just a little CRM for tasks. And we set up what I need to do, plan my calendar out, and I let her know what I need her to do. For example, today I added one more task for her weekly. I just started a new meal plan, and I'm having her check with me every Sunday on how much food I have left. Like she has my whole meal plan. Hey Gino, do you have enough oatmeal? Do you have enough eggs? Do you have this? Because if not,
Instacart.
she's got Instacart, and she's just gonna log in and buy my stuff for me. And that way I don't even have to think of the grocery store at all ever now. So then guess what, guys? I don't know how close you live to a grocery store. I mean, I actually live like freaking 3 minutes from one, but 3 minutes in, and then 15, 20 minutes, and it took me like 30 yesterday because I didn't know what I was getting on my new meal plan. But anyway, so let's say I spent 15 minutes in there, which you actually probably spend way more, but let's just say that 15 minutes in there and then 3 minutes back home, that's a total of 21 minutes. But if you're worth $1,000 an hour, that's $300 you just spent there, right? A third of 60 minutes of an hour, $300, and that saves me every week $300 by having her do that for me, right?
And not to mention it's
And
super
time,
annoying.
and super annoying, and time, and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, and then
again,
you
I would
buy more
implement these.
sweets.
Get an executive assistant if you have a big team and you're trying to grow, because they're going to help. I mean, your
Everything.
time is your most important asset. So,
I
right?
think we were actually having this conversation today. I think it's like probably if you can optimize yourself, and because you're always, as an entrepreneur, you're always going to be the bottleneck of your business. So if you can optimize yourself to where you're not the bottleneck, then you're going to relieve, and your company is going to be forced to grow because you're not the bottleneck. You're probably always going to be fighting, how can I not be the bottleneck of the company? And the way to do that is to every day, every week, every 2 weeks, whatever your frequency is, to sit down and say, hey, how can I optimize myself?
Gotcha.
And
How many people are watching this right now, Chandler?
we got 8 people right now.
Share this. Everyone share this. Share this to someone. Tag them in here.
Someone
Give them
who's
that.
wasting their time on something that's
Give them
not
that link.
valuable.
Yeah, that's someone that you think
Yeah,
is wasting your time.
if you send it to them,
Tag
it's
them.
because they're wasting their time doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Give them the Facebook group invite, but if they can't join that in time, give them my YouTube or Chandler's YouTube link, and it's
Yeah.
live on there too. Please share this. We want to get this message out. I know a lot of people watch the recording, but still, I want to have people here live to give us some questions. So
Yep.
anyway, we'll
Drop the
move on to the
questions
next
down.
slide. So again, we used to ask ourselves, how can we be more around more like-minded individuals, right? How can we be around people like us? Instead, why don't we ask who can help introduce us to people that are like-minded and successful, and more successful than us, right? And who was that? Well, Collective Genius, again, like Chandler explained, it's a big mastermind where we have the highest of highest real estate investors that come together, every quarter and
Quarterly.
share and ask. They share a give and an ask. So they're going to give something of their business that they feel is very, 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 beneficial for everyone else there. And there's a competition. So everyone's really
Mhm.
trying to give as much value as possible. They want to win that belt, which
Yep.
Chandler won and me, before this one. So
Yep.
everyone wants to get the belt. So there's a competition to share as many useful, beneficial tips as possible. And so being around people like that are doing the business, that are giving out those tips. I mean, it's not just those, that give that's going to help you, but that relationship you build with those people are going to take you for life.
Yeah,
So
you get like for us, it's changed everything for us. I mean, we have people we can talk to who are doing, we looked at a year ago and said, dang, like that's like our idol, and now we're like we're buddies with them. We have their phone numbers. We talk to them on a regular basis, and it's like it doesn't seem real, but because you get that opportunity, someone put us there. And again, you hit the next button. I think one more
yeah,
picture is gonna
so
pop
and
up.
this is what I was going to get into. So it's not necessarily like there's not necessarily one who that can help you get your how. Not one who that can maybe help you achieve your how. It might be multiple, right? So for this example, I asked Steve Trang, "Hey, Steve, who do you know that can get us around like-minded individuals? Who, is there, who can get us there? Oh, go to join Collective Genius." So my big point here is like there might be a who to go through another who, right, to get you where you want. Because Steve was my original who. I said, "Who can help me get in here, Steve?" And then Steve said, "Well, the who is Collective Genius." So it's a pass through, right? So don't be, afraid to ask other people for certain things, and that who might know someone else, right?
Mhm.
Like Steve did
Well,
here in this example.
and because people like Steve, like a lot of times, like what we're realizing is if you talk to people who are well connected, or just Steve's got a lot of networks, people who are doing more than you, usually they're fairly well connected, and they know someone who knows someone to get you in front of those people, and you can just get check out the boxes, and eventually you'll make it there, right? So I think we get a good question of like, how do you find out about these like masterminds and stuff? Is it like a pretty big question that I get every once in a while? I would say, like, honestly, just ask the people who are doing more than you, like, where they're learning, you know, or
Exactly.
on podcasts or stuff like that, and find out where they're learning their information because they're not coming up with it. It's not original. Like nothing we teach or talk about is
No,
our knowledge. Everything's just regurgitated
no
from other
way.
people.
Yep, no way. So we got our next one here, and this one's mine here again. So, we were having a little, problem at the end of Q4 is where we're trying to get our, we're figuring out how can we get our sales conversations up, conversions or
Conversion.
conversations up, right? And what we figured out, instead of asking how, we went to who, like who can help us with this, who's killing it, right?
Mhm.
Who's getting these, consistently getting these appointments completed, which I made a post about yesterday, right? So who was our buddy Eric Brewer? A good picture of him here.
Yeah, he
But
looks like
like
a
if you
stud.
guys saw my post on Instagram yesterday, um, when we implemented this process within the first week, we got 3 contracts from doing live transfers. And people were asking me, what are live transfers? Well, what we used to do is our lead managers would call up sellers, qualify them, and then set up an appointment for our acquisition guys on the phone. We close everything on the phone. But they would set up the appointment, and out of 100 appointments, they would set up, out of the 100 appointments, 50 people would actually answer that appointment time. So we might say the lead manager, "Hey, okay, we'll call you at 6 p.m. tonight." Well, only 50% of the time people answered. And what we were seeing is, we set 100 appointments, only 50 people completed. So, if we're closing only, 10 deals, that's not good, right? That's not good. But what we really needed to look at is how can we get our appointment to appointment complete up? Because if we can somehow increase, if we can close at 20%, right? Appointment completed to contract. If we can go from 50 appointments to 80 appointments, right? The 30 more increase, 30, appointments completed increase, we can now close 6 more contracts a month. Again, that
Hmm.
30 more appointments completed at our 20% close ratio, that will get us 6 more contracts a month, right? So we knew we were lacking, we were slacking, and he showed us how to do that through live transfers. Like, why were we just setting appointments? Now, what we do is the lead manager will transfer live that seller to our AM. and an AM will give an offer immediately. And we've seen that increase again. I think I looked at it, it was like 6 or 7 out of our 11 contracts this month came from live transfers.
Yeah.
So
and also, like, I got some data to back it up too. Is like after the first 3 weeks of doing it, we did like 25% of our appointments were live transfers from the data we got, and we were closing. I think it was like 36% of those appointments were closed to contracts. So over 1 in 3 live transfer appointments were contracts, which is, if anyone knows, I mean, that's pretty baller. So
yeah, it's real good.
So
and it boosted our appointment completion percentage, which we wanted.
Yeah.
We're now at, like, last week we did 87%. Week before was like 80. Week before that was like 80. So we're like 82, 83% when we were at 50%. So we are doing what we want, right? We are getting to where we want.
Yeah.
So big thing there. So Chandler?
Oh, so Gina already crossed me out, but how can we become better leaders is the question we started asking. I think we started asking this question probably about when you moved to Europe. We were like, we got to find a coach, or we got to figure out how we can become better leaders.
Yeah.
And instead, we're just like, okay, well, instead of us figuring out how to do it, let's just ask someone who's already done it. So then we asked ourselves, who can do this? And we were able to find a mentor who's doing a significant amount more deals than us. And I would say some of the big things, like some of the quick, easy points that we can have is like, or just like our problem, just overlay our problem, is we grew our team and had 20 people, from like 6 people to like 20 people in 1 year. And being 22 years old, we didn't know what we were doing. So, we had
21.
21. Yeah, 21, I guess. I turned 22 at the beginning of the year.
Screw you.
I know, I'm fucking old, man. But anyways, we were like, man, we don't even know how to get the best out of our leader or out of our team. So we were just like, it's easy now that we know, but we don't know what you don't know. So some of the things that like our mentor was able to help us with was get more from our team. Like, what book should we read as a team? How should we overcome limiting beliefs? How should we get over these objections that our team's having? How should we educate them? Blah, 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 all these different things. Not only how to get more from, but also how to inspire and be a good leader, right? You can't just beat them down and say, you suck, you suck, you suck. No, you gotta raise them up, because if people are having a good time and they love where they're working and they feel like they're appreciated and they're inspired to do more, then that's a big thing. And I think one of the big things too that we were taught is like being a leader is less about being like a you need to do this, you need to do that. It's more about pushing your team to go further than they want to go and holding them accountable to the commitments they made. So I think that's a big thing right there.
So, and this guy here is Ren Bartlett. So he's out of Mobile, Alabama, but they got 7, markets. They're doing crazy numbers. He probably doesn't want me to say, but they're doing crazy numbers, like more than anyone in this industry I know of. And he's a big time guy. He's one of our big mentors, obviously. And yeah, like Chandler said, he's helped us with our leadership. And like in the next video, you'll hear, this is from, hopefully you guys can hear sound. But we'll see if you do. But this is from our disposition manager. She started with me before even Chandler was here as a texter. And we were paying her $10 an hour. Now, last year, she got paid very well as a disposition manager.
Mm-hmm.
And she's grown as a person, individual, leader. She's a single mom, never really had much money. And she'll tell you that herself. She grew up, just raising the kids. Well, she didn't grow up raising the kids, but she grew up in pretty low means.
Raising the kids.
She raised kids on her own. And yeah, she was a single mom. But anyway, so here's a video on her. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
I hear it. Restart it. I didn't hear it at the beginning.
Oh, I turned it up a little bit. Sorry.
More.
Hold on. What?
Turn it up louder.
You said it was too loud last time.
No, I said more.
And just to see the changes and
can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's just been really, really fun. And I mean, I love it. It's one of those things where I actually, no matter what else I'm going through in life, I love getting up out of bed every day to work. You know what I'm saying?
We got Fox over there laughing, but
look at that guy in the bottom left down there.
Brandy was like, she's big into us. She's excited. She works harder than, I would say even
She probably works
sometimes
harder than us. I mean, she's a
she's
beast.
grinding. She's got the goal. She wants to take us to the next level. And, so it was good for us. We built her up. I think the leadership we learned from Ren, we perfect. No, we still more to learn, every day. But I think she's helped us a lot in that. Right.
Yeah. I would say she's a big part of why we've been successful, because that's one thing that we never have to worry about is is a deal going to get sold? It's it's going to get sold. It's how much is this thing going to go over what we want it for, the question that we ask. So, but yeah.
For sure. So I'm going to unshare my screen so I can see the messages here, but who do we got here? Does anyone want to share one goal that this year?
One yearly goal they got, or quarterly goal?
Anyone have any quarterly goals or they want to share, or anything they're trying to achieve?
And really to preface. Sorry, I'm learning English still. To preface this, what we want to do is get these goals from you guys that you're not maybe 100% sold on how to do it, and either be the bridge to help you achieve it, or connect you with someone who can help be that bridge. So find your who, help you find your who, so you can accomplish the things that you want and really give some value back. So if you guys got any goals for the quarter, for the year, for the week, whatever it is that you just don't know quite, don't have quite full clarity on, then drop them down below and let's see if we can't hash it out.
Let's get some. Don't be afraid to put one in here, because you don't know who we know that might be able to help you, right? We might be able to connect you with one person, right? You find that who, like this whole presentation is talking about, and you might make 100K off it, So
at least.
What do you guys have? We got some people in here. I know you guys are in here. So put down one of your quarterly rocks. What's rocks meaning, your big goals for this next quarter? What is one?
Personal, business, whatever.
You probably don't have one.
Yeah, you guys probably got it all figured out.
Sounds like they got it all figured out.
It seems like it.
So we got people on my YouTube channel watching this. Let's see it, guys. Put some comments over here.
Let me see. What do you call your fans, Gino? What are you calling your fans? You got a name
fans,
for them?
Supporters is what I call them. Supporters, and they're just supporting me.
We're
trying to get it to the next level together.
Like the Low Gang. You got something like that for
the Hermosi clan? What is it? The Hermosi fam or something?
Hermosi Nation or something like that.
Hermosi Nation. That's
Hermosi Nation. Yeah.
All right, guys, come on. If you guys are joining this, let's see. Here we go.
Here we go.
2 deals a month. Let's see who it is too, so I can get it on here. This is
2 deals a month for 12 months. Javier. So 20. Javier wants 24 deals. Average deal size 30K. If you could, where are you at right now, Javier? If you could drop that down.
And where Michael's here, get a wholesale deal, Michael. I know who could help you with that. Come out. We're gonna have an event. We haven't announced it fully yet, but we're gonna have an event in Houston, which is just North Georgia. But we're gonna have an event there in February 3rd, and we'll have a meetup. And we can talk more how we can get you that first wholesale deal. But I think you're grinding it. It's just if you have that time. I know what we talked about. So who could be your who? I think you've done enough education. Michael, I know between us. So who can get you there? What do you think, Chandler?
I mean, I think the big thing that I heard last week from our boy was get 100 leads in your pipeline and then reevaluate. So I would say from where you're at, Michael, I know you've sent us some deals too, and they just didn't quite work out, but get 100 leads. And if you haven't already done that, maybe get 50. I don't know. We can, see where you're at. And I would evaluate at that point where you're looking at. So
no, I think you're who right now, Mike. So we'll go with Michael, and then Javier, let us know where you're at now so we can help you, direct you. But I think what you can do, Mike, is you were working with KT a little bit too, so getting better with your discipline, consistency. You need to find out who to hold you accountable every single week, every single day, to make sure you're doing something. Now, it might not necessarily be someone in real estate, but have someone that can, find a who that can hold you accountable. Who can hold you accountable and make sure you do your things, right, that you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Make
and
those
it might
calls,
even
make those dials,
Yeah, and what Gina's point is, I guarantee you in some of these Facebook groups, maybe even our group, is there's people out there who are trying to do the same thing you are, and meeting up and just going ham with all those guys for accountability. That might be the who that you need to push you over the edge, is just need that competition. Hey, out of us 3, who's going to get our first deal? and like those other guys are going to be the ones pushing you, or they might be the ones that help you get over that thing. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I kind of agree with Gino. I think that's a good idea.
For sure. Current goal is get around the right people. So get around the right people. So it's finding that mastermind or find some other people around that are doing what you're doing. So
Local
um,
meetups,
who can help you there is local meetups are real estate
the RIAs.
associations, the RIAs, real estate investing associations. So
Yeah.
I would go to as many meetups as you can. That's who's going to help you there. Those REIs.
Yeah,
REI.
and depending on what market you're in, if you don't know of any meetups or how to find them, is just reach out to people, Facebook groups that are local. Look up, local RIAs. Look up local real estate meetups. Talk to the people who are already doing real estate in your market, and they'll be able to tell you, where to go. And you should be able to get around like-minded people, like maybe you and Michael, even you and Mike, even talk it out. If you guys are both looking to start doing deals. I don't know where you're at, Everett, but
Sure. You got to find someone just like you. Again, like Chandler said, look at your local Facebook page, your local market's Facebook page. And even join the real estate disruptors, join the wholesaling houses full time. Find people that are just starting the business and squad up with them, get together with them. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone's looking to, and again, I would honestly say and if everyone's looking to get around better people. Everyone wants to be around the right people. So it should be easy if you find people who have the same mindset as you to connect with them and to hang out and to, to make something happen together. So I would definitely say that just, put it out there in the world, and people will come hit you up, and you can seek people out too. You got this one, Gino, you got Facebook pulled up?
Right now, I've been flipping, done 2 wholesales in the last 5 months, but right now hiring VAs, set up onboard doctors from your level up workshop I attended. So
nice.
you're trying to go from flipping, you did 2 wholesales in the last 5 months, and now you're hiring VAs. So I guess your biggest challenge to get to 2 deals a month is getting consistent marketing. That's it. It's going to be consistent marketing through those VAs. So who can help you with that? Well, you got marketing companies that could help you with that, so you don't have to worry about it. Who else can help you with that? Well, I know that, we can help. You got some of our stuff already. You got all of our level up workshop stuff. I mean, we could help you. Let me know what you're having trouble with right now with hiring VAs and setting up onboarding documents.
Yep. Yeah. And assuming that, sales is probably your strength, is if you can start feeding yourself sales and keep it easier to keep your pipeline full and have that more automated, then that's going to be what you want to do. And who can help you with that? Like Gino said, any, if you got more money than time, then, hire a marketing company, a cold call agency, reach out to us if you don't have time, and we can help you on how to set it up and how to train them and give you more of the documents and
we can give you some more advice on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go here. My boy Mike said, "Y'all pushing P." Mike, tell me what that means again, because I looked it up.
Pushing P.
Chandler has no clue at all. I've seen it. I understand.
Does that mean pushing
it means
paper?
No, it's a new rap song with Gunna, and it's about I think keeping it real, right?
100.
Is that what it is?
I'm looking it up on Urban Dictionary right now.
Yeah, look it up. That's where I found it.
It says keeping it playa or getting to the paper. He pushing P.
Keeping it real. Right?
Pushing the lifestyle of a player, a real one. Putting your people in a position is putting P. Pushing P.
Yeah,
putting your people in a position is pushing P. Pushing the lifestyle of a player, a real one, is the definition by Urban Dictionary. Gotcha. Hell yeah.
Making it money. There's Lionel over here. Yeah, we're trying to learn about pushing P on the podcast. The white boys are here. We pushing the P's. Push the P's, baby. Like that.
Yes, sir.
Sweet man, thank you. I think that was from Javier, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Lionel, what's your goals this week? Or this year or quarter? What's those goals? Let's see them.
And everyone else too, if you guys got them.
Again, this is us. Like, we might know someone that if you want to get into, SEO, PPC, Facebook, I already know you're who. So if that's something you want to do, I get someone that's going to help help you like this. So we want to give you guys live examples of what we're preaching about, is like actually doing it, because this is what we do. We go to our people. Steve, who do you know that can help us get around more like-minded individuals? Collective Genius. All right, I signed up, and look where we're at now. So
also, like, another thing that's real simple is, like, I get deals sent to me that are in other states, and all I do is just connect them with my friends in those other states that are going to be able to help you move it. So, like, I actually happened today, I got 2 of those DMs, deals in Texas, deals in wherever. We have friends all over the nation in all the big markets. So
Exactly. So
we're
like,
doing wholesaling real estate at a high level. So, but
what
yeah, I
else
mean,
you guys got here? I think get our VAs trained to become rock stars. 100K in assignment fees. Hell yeah, I like that right there.
where is
So
that one at? Oh, here we go.
let's hear it. So let's figure out. Let's break it down, right, Lionel? I don't know if you heard the beginning of this whole entire, and I'm sure you can watch it if you haven't. But we talked about finding our who can help us get there. Instead of asking how can I get my VAs trained and become rock stars, right? Instead of asking yourself how can you do that, ask who can help you. And I'll be honest with you, who can help them, Chandler, get our VAs trained and become rock
We
stars.
could.
We could. If you want,
Mhm.
Lionel, ask me right now, put down what exactly you're looking for in terms of what VAs you're looking to get trained. Like, is
And
it
trained
your
on what?
cold callers, lead managers? Because then guess what I'll do? I'll go make a YouTube video straight for you. That's going to be about how to train and how to, role play with cold callers or
Mhm.
lead managers or
Or how to
acquisition
train your
managers.
texters, and if you want to train your texters, we have an entire document that is what we give our texters, and they're ready to go after they watch the videos, and they do all that work. How to manage it, how to do whatever. Even if you want to like how to hire an executive assistant, whatever it might be, we've done it, so we can help you out there. I think that's another one we got here. Yeah, leave that down below, Lionel. Another one we got is for call. We use call tools for our callers, and yeah, that's what we use. Call tools
Yes,
2.0.
sir. Call toolies.
Called Tulios.
Call tools. All right. So what else for anyone else have some stuff
Yeah.
we can help with? I mean, this is pretty much not, this is anything you guys want. We want to help out. So any mentorship, any stuff we can advice we can give you guys here
Yeah.
for these next 15, 20 minutes going over this. What do you guys got? We got till 7 o'clock. We got about 15
Whatever.
minutes here.
Yeah, whatever you guys need help with, this is where we're here to shine.
Got more.
Also, another thing too is like if you guys are doing deals in Georgia, wherever you get deals there, send them to myself or Gino, and we will be there to see if it works out for us or not. Maybe we can do a deal together.
So are you guys gaining any value from this? Please let us know so it keeps Chandler excited.
I know.
Chandler he needs to feel excited.
I need to feel excited, otherwise I get sad.
Hey, I
Yo,
got a background.
look at that background, man.
Adding stuff in for us, guys.
Yo.
Yo,
Oh, that's actually fire right there. What do you guys think of that?
we have background music too.
Dude, can you put background music in there? Can we start doing
Let's go,
can we do
guys. Get us
dances?
some questions. Let me see this.
Mike says yes. Oh shoot.
Hey,
Ferocity. Feral City.
I think that's Paco. Oh no, Javier.
Javier, let's go.
Hey, yeah, I like that stuff.
Dude. So I guess we
Tell
could
us what you
transition
guys
to a
got.
talk show. So while we wait on questions rolling, we could transition to like a talk show.
Let me see my Ferocity logos here.
That's another thing too, is like what would you guys want to see some YouTube videos on? Is there any specific topics like kind of what Gino was saying, is how to train whatever position, how to do anything like that?
Yeah, what are you
kind of
guys looking to see from us? What's some
like
more
concept
things?
side. Yeah, you guys are here from the beginning, so when we're gurus, we don't want to be phonies,
Yeah.
Yeah, the picture's blurry.
I know. I have to do this.
I like that orange background. I think it's kind of sweet.
So yeah, what do you guys got for us? I mean, what do you guys think?
And for a bunch of people just joined right just a second ago, what we're doing is we just did a who not how presentation, and specifically what we're doing is everyone's asking questions for what their goals are for the quarter, for the year, or some just goal in general that you're not quite sure how you're going to accomplish, or you need some help with. And what we're trying to do is either help you bridge that gap and be your who, or help you find a connection to someone who can help you do that. And Lionel just asked the question here.
You guys are also having a disconnect specifically with training a VA on tonality and building rapport to maximize conversion before we touch it. So, Lionel, where's your VAs at? Are they in the Philippines? Are they in Latin America? Tell me where the VAs are at, because it's going to differ based on that, right? And I'll tell you why. But are they in like Central or South America? Or are they in like the Philippines?
If you
right?
want to just elaborate on the difference between, because those are the two main places, just the difference between South
Well, I mean, the
America.
big thing here is you got to think of it, guys, is like for us, we have about 14, 15 VAs, and we manage 30 at a time when our lead gen business. All of them were Latin Americans, other than a few admin Filipinos. But our company now, Ferocity, is all admins. I mean, excuse me, all Latin
All
Americans
happens.
or,
Yeah.
Central American, right? Or which is Latin American. Anyway, so what we saw is that a lot of the people on our team, our callers, they lived in America at one point, right? Whether they got deported out, left, or whatever it was. Doesn't matter to me. All I know is they lived in America once and their English is better than mine. I would say majority of their English is better than mine. And even if it has some sort of an accent, it's fine because there's a lot of Hispanic people in our nation. It's not,
Hmm.
it's not frowned upon, right? As per se, as someone that comes in the Filipinos, I know a lot of them sound good. There's good and bad ones, of course, of every single country. We're not here to judge, but what we've had experiences of is the Filipinos. I don't know if they because they work at night or because they're not like that motivated. I don't know, but all I found is like when I hired 10 Filipinos versus 10 Latin Americans would grind out. They sound 100 times better on the phone. One, because they lived in America. Two, because they have that mindset. And I know the Filipinos grind as well. Again, I'm not discrediting them, but what we found is that they were so much easier for the Latin Americans to build rapport, like you're talking about right here, and tonality because they have,
The
lived
cultural
in America.
differences are not as like vast.
Yeah, the culture is a
It,
big difference. But you got a Filipino, right? So it's okay, right? It's not like we're discrediting them, but how can you train on that? Role play and role play and role play and role play. That's the number
it
one thing you're gonna have to do with about the
should
tonality.
when you're trying to get someone better like that too, is daily training is a must. Daily training on like live call reviews, role playing, like Gino's talking about, and just focusing on what, hey, look, here's what I want. Here's what success looks like. Here's where we're at, and now you got to put the steps into place on how to, implement that, right? So once you realize what the goal looks like and where they're at, then it's like, okay, well, now we just need to role play and we need to focus and be intentional on having tone when we talk to people, right? And be intentional on, saying it this way, or when this kind of thing comes up, you respond in this way, and just run through the situations through the script, and so they have a good understanding. So
Yeah, and I would for sure say this too is when you come to motivation, this is actually a thing that a lot of people don't get right. And I'm very passionate, not passionate, but I believe this is really the correct way. And rapport, and excuse me, in terms of rapport, it doesn't start from you saying that you like the same football team or baseball team, or you live in the same city and you know the same people. Like that's just a little bit of it brings the barrier down a little bit and they feel more comfortable working with you.
mhm.
But real rapport where you're like one and one, you guys are together, like they feel you, the sellers want to work with you. They feel you're the only person that can help them, or like they only want to work with you. That comes from digging from their motivation and trying to solve a pain and showing empathy towards the seller, right? Empathy is when the seller believes, or the person you're talking to, that you understand their point of view and you understand how they feel, right? You're putting yourself in their shoes and they can feel that. So when you ask questions, and the motivation part of our scripts is like, it sounds like, it feels like it's labeling, right? It's stuff from Chris Voss from Never Split the Difference. That book I highly recommend. Is when sellers hear that, they feel that you understand them. And when someone feels you understand them, their whole barrier and their guards down, and they feel like you're a person that's like they want to be with, want to be friends with. And so when that other wholesaler calls up and is just asking about how much they want and all this, they're not going to even give them a time of day because they want to work with you, because they believe that you understand them, that you are there to help them, and that you can give them what they want. So that's another thing, Lionel. You might want to get better too with motivation with them.
I
Um,
think like another thing too is, and I only read like an hour and a half of the book. It's like 11 hours, but it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This was one of the things they talk about too, right? You read the whole book, right?
yeah.
Is you make it about the other person, and you understand their point of view and all this kind of stuff. And I think that's one of the biggest things is you talk to someone, and when it's all I do this, I do that, how annoying is it just to have a conversation with them, versus when you talk to someone who asks you like, hey, how, that's so cool. What did, you play baseball, where'd you play, what position? Oh, that's so sick. Tell me more about that. It's the same thing. Like you like talking to that guy because he's asking questions. So trying to do the same thing with the sellers. You just want them to be in that deep relationship together.
But make sure
Um,
that you're showing empathy, because it's not just that you want to be telling them or showing them that you care. Because obviously people love talking about themselves, You talk to anyone, they're going to talk about themselves more. If you're talking to new people, a good tip is to ask them as many questions about themselves, what they do and how they do it, because they're going to love talking to you. And that's how you can build some, bring their barrier down, but really building rapport is showing empathy. Like, oh, it seems like, that the property meant a lot to you. It does, but it's just tore up now from the tenants. Oh, it sounds like they did a lot of damage. Yeah, they did this, and they're going in deep pain. And, we won't go into that, but like, that's how you gain this motivation with them and, build this rapport with them, and they get the real motivation out of them. So,
and just that one tip right there can make you infinitely more money forever. It's just by starting to do that tomorrow, just by truly caring about other people. And it'll help you in every aspect of life, not just business.
For sure.
I clicked on it, but
would
you recommend Upwork finding Latin VAs? So do I think we found the first one on Outbounders. One of my buddies, I recommended searching like work from home South America, work from home Nicaragua, work from home, wherever, Facebook groups. And one of my buddies was having good success. I think he got set up like 20 or 30 interviews from just posting in these different Facebook groups.
That's good for sure. Actually, funny enough, I actually found Eric on Upwork, Chandler. He was the first.
Oh, you did?
Latin. I found him on Upwork. So yeah, I would recommend if you find one there for sure. I saw a $5 an hour Venezuelan VA there. I wonder how she would mesh with our people. Like, I was just making a TikTok, and I found one.
Yeah,
get her
definitely on Upwork. It's a little bit more. It's less Latin Americans and more Filipinos and Middle Easterns, but you still can find them, especially
just filter out Spanish and say like their language they know Spanish, because very few Filipinos know Spanish fluently, and a lot more, obviously. I mean, all Latin Americans know Spanish more than likely, unless you're from Belize.
Right. For sure.
Amazing value of breaking down rapport. Thanks, guys. No problem, Lionel. If you could just like share that, make a post, tag us on Instagram if you have one, and just tag us on there and say you got some value, share it. That's what we're just asking for you guys. We'll give you as much value as possible, but
the goal is just to be able to help more people. So that's what we're here to do.
Exactly. Also, so if you could,
with I think this is Javier probably. Also, if you want, I can send you our application. If you just DM me on Instagram, I'll send you our application for how we use to hire people. So that way you can get a good framework of what to do.
If you started over with what you knew now, what would you do differently? I don't know if I would really do anything that different. I know that's the common answer. What would I do differently? I think it was a part of the process to do all the stuff that I failed at, like different things. What I would do differently, I don't think I would do much differently, to be honest, Mike. Only thing I could see is doing more like co-wholesales. But if I start all over again, I wouldn't really have those connections. Well, if I kept the connections, then I would do co-wholesales. But
I think like an easy way, and a lot of people get into it too, is working for someone else who has a pretty dialed in company and learning from them. And then it's like pretty much easy to start your own. I think that's
there's no way I was ever going to work for someone else.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even in my eyes to even think about that. Yeah. But if you could do that, I do recommend that as well. And again, I'm not the person I'll do that, but if you could go in there for 3 or 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, commit to this person and grow there. Like, I would have worked for free though to some companies. Like my sister has that, which he might come on the podcast. I need to ask him to come, that have like millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions in assets, real estate. And if he told me, like, if I was not working this job, if I had nothing to do, I would literally work for him for free, because that guy, like, just the connections he has, just the connections he has up there, his friends that are having hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, bro, I just have to shine and they'll find something big for me to do, or at least I'll learn something big for them, right? When they're dealing with that money.
Yeah.
One relationship away. So
exactly. That's all. You're always one break away, one door opening away from success. Even at every level, you're one breakthrough away from breaking that. Imagine like here's the wall, the top. You're one door from opening, from busting through it and taking off. So
we got 3 minutes left here. Again, the big thing we talked about today is stop asking yourself, how can I achieve X? Not how can I do X, but who can help me achieve X? Who can help me do X, right? So what person can help me do it? And our good examples are, we had our executive assistants we've hired. Instead of us figuring out how we can do these minimal tasks, who can help us do those so that we don't spend our time on them.
Yeah.
And again, you guys can watch the recording,
Another-
but is there any final comments? I know we got a couple minutes, but
Leave
is
your
there
final
any last
comments.
remarks that you guys
And
got?
also just to sum it up too for everyone, if you just hopped in, a couple of the questions were how to become better leaders. We found a mentor who'd already done it, doing hundreds of deals a month. And another, how to close more deals. Steve Trang, how to, get around more right people. We asked Steve to how he did it, and then he connected us with Collective Genius and so on. Right. So super valuable stuff for us. So it's been a big impact for us. That's why we feel like it's important to share. So hopefully it helps you guys out just the same. And
For sure.
I guess at this point, Gina, you got any last words you want to leave with them?
Oh yeah, I got 3 words. Who, not how.
I didn't know
That's
what
what
you're
I'm
gonna
leaving.
say. Honestly, that 3 words could have gone any way.
Yeah, I'm
way.
saying who, not how. So
Oh,
who, not how. Put that thing tatted on you. Get you a temporary tat.
tatted to the back. All I gotta
Tat that
say
baby.
is share this. If you got any value, leave comments down, like it, whatever it is, and we'll see you guys next week.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Peace.